Ohio gozaimasu, konnichiwa, konbanwa, wherever you're at in the world, welcome to Last Rounds Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. The commentary and views are our opinions and are not affiliated with the NPB, the Pacific League, Central League, or their sponsors. We are giving English reports on the game being played and in hopes English-speaking audiences and fans that are listening on YouTube and along on Twitch can enjoy the game with us. And we'll be with you in a moment to give you the starting lineups. But first off, before we do this, we are going to be calling tonight's game between the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles and the Chiba Lotte Marines. This game is going to be played at Rakuten Saimai Park, Miyagi. It is about 63 degrees and it is partly sunny. Both of the managers are out exchanging their lineup cards, and we're about to get this one going in about 6 or 7 minutes. Of course, it is a beautiful day for baseball. There's fans in the stands, and it is going to be a game that hopefully will be as exciting as some of their matches in the playoffs were last year in the Climax Series. Both of these two teams faced off against one another before, of course, having to face the Oryx Buffaloes. So we'll bring you the starting lineups, and first of all, the visitors from Chiba. Leading off and playing in left field, wearing number 38, is Akito Takabe. Batting second and in right field, wearing number 79, is Leonis Martin. Batting third and playing second base, wearing number 8, is Shogo Nakamura. In the cleanup spot and doing the designated hitting, wearing number 54, is Brandon Laird. Batting fifth and playing first base, wearing number 32, is Toshiya Sato. Batting sixth and in center field, wearing number 25, is Hiromi Oka. Batting seventh and playing shortstop, wearing number 4, is Yudai Fujioka. Batting eighth and doing the catching, wearing number 2, is Ko Matsukawa. And batting ninth and playing third base, wearing number 13, is Taiga Hirasawa. And they are going to be facing today, or taking to the mound for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, is going to be Takahiro Norimoto. And he will get the season going for the home team today. And now the starting lineup for the home team, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Leading off and playing in left field, wearing number 6, is Haruki Nishikawa. Batting second and playing shortstop, wearing number 34, is Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. Batting third and playing second base, wearing number 3, is Hideto Asamura. Batting fourth in right field, wearing number 35, is Hiroki Shimouchi. Batting fifth and playing third base, wearing number 5, is Igoro Moji. Batting sixth and doing the designated hitting, wearing number 54, is Ren Wada. Batting seventh and playing first base, wearing number 7, is Daichi Suzuki. Batting eighth and in center field, wearing number 55. Batting eighth and doing the catching, wearing number 55, is Yuma Yasuda. And batting ninth, getting the start in center field tonight, is going to be Hiroto Kobakata. Of course, he was the shortstop last year on opening night for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. He's getting the opportunity to play in center field tonight. And we'll see how that works out for the Eagles. And they are going to be facing, tonight, they are going to be facing Ayuma Ishikawa as he takes to the bump to face the Golden Eagles this evening. And we will have all the information on this one here when we return in just a couple moments. Whether you're listening live or on delay, we do appreciate you being here. We'll be here every night this weekend. We'll give a couple of different teams a look tomorrow as the weather is supposed to be dicey. So we will call a couple of different games tomorrow from one of the dome stadiums. So stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment as these two teams are about ready to take the field. We'll give you the other games, starting pitchers from out of town. It's a beautiful day for baseball in Tohoku. Hang tight, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to be back in just a moment. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles are taking to the field. Stick around with us. We'll be right back after this. Would you like to support Last Drafts Baseball? We would appreciate it if you did. Be sure to check out our eBay page where we have baseball merchandise. We also have stuff from the Japanese League for those who listen from Japan, but we also do other sports like football and basketball as well. Don't forget, visit Last Perhaps Baseball's eBay store to help support the channel. We'll be glad you did. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to just take a look around the league for the other starting pitchers for opening day, March 25th. This is the only game that is going to be going now. The next ones that will start will be from in Osaka, where the Oryx Buffaloes will play host to the Saitama Cebu Lions, and at the Kyocera Dome, where the Hanshin Tigers are playing host to the Tokyo Yakult Swallows. And so we have starting pitchers from around the league. We've got other games in the Pacific League today. It is going to be a 6:30 local time start at the PayPay Dome. The Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters will send Koki Kitayama to the hill, and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks are going to counter with Kodai Senga. At the Baluna Dome in Cebu, or Saitama, where the Cebu Lions call home, it is going to be the Oryx Buffaloes ace Yoshinobu Yamamoto taking to the mound, and he is going to face Kona Takahashi. Of course, we have this game here, the three games in the Central League. The Tokyo Yakult Swallows are at the Kyocera Dome to play the Hanshin Tigers. The Swallows will send Yasuhiro Ogawa to the hill, and Hanshin will give the ball to Shintaro Fujinami. At the Tokyo Dome, the Chinichi Dragons are visiting. They're going to send Yudai Ono to the hill. And countering for the Giants will be Tomoyuki Sagano. That is going to be a 6:15 local time start. And the last game to get going in the Central League will be the Hiroshima Carp at the Yokohama Danabe Stars. The longtime ace of the staff for Hiroshima is Daichi Osera. He's going to get the ball, and he is going to go against Katsuki Azuma, who gets the start for the Yokohama Danabe Stars. So the starting pitcher, Takahiro Norimoto, is on the hill. He's got the ball. He's getting his warm-up tosses in. And we'll be back in just a couple moments with the start of this one. We're glad you could be here with us. We got Big Ray in the house. It is opening day tonight. And we appreciate you being here. Hopefully you can stick around for the whole thing. We're going to be up for quite a while tonight calling this one. We'll be right back in about 30 seconds. Welcome back, everybody. The way Norimoto last year was 11-5, and he posted a 3.17 ERA in 23 games for the Golden Eagles. He's going to face Takabe, Martin, and Nakamura. And here's the first pitch of the 2022 season. It's a fastball that just misses down, and the count is 1-0. Takabe stands in on the left side with the slightly open stance. Norimoto working from the windup. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled off over on the third base side. And the count now goes even to 1 ball and 1 strike. For Takabe, last season, the 24-year-old appeared in 33 games. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to Suzuki at first. He flips it over to the pitcher covering. And that is going to retire Takabe. It goes as a ground out, 3-1 for out number 1. So just to finish off on Takabe, he had appeared in 33 games last year. He only had 69 plate appearances. He's getting the nod today in left field, and he gets the game going by grounding out the first for the first out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the right fielder, Leonis Martin. 2 import players in the batting order today for the Chiba Lotte Marines. Of course, Leonis Martin in the 2 spot, and Brandon Laird hitting in the cleanup spot. So Norimoto ready to go to work. He rocks into the motion and delivers. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Martin. Leonys Martin last year only batted .233. He had 27 homers and 75 runs batted in. He bats from the left side against Norimoto, who rocks into the motion and delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Norimoto gets the baseball, and he's ready to go back to work. He rocks into the windup and delivers. It's a changeup, swung on and missed. And the count is now 1-2 to Martin. Leonys Martin, I had a chance to see him play quite a bit in Seattle when he was with the Mariners. And, of course, he began his career with the Texas Rangers in the major leagues, and then went on to the Detroit Tigers and the Cleveland Indians. And it was, in some ways, very frustrating to watch a young Leonys Martin play. And there was a breaking ball swung on and tap foul to the first base side of home plate. And the count remains at 1-2. But I had a different change of heart in watching him play last year in the Japanese league. When we did some of the games last year, he really made some heads-up plays. And one of them was between these two teams, where there was a pop-up just behind second base. Of course, the swirling wind took it for a ride, and I believe it was Hideo Asamura who had made the catch in very shallow right field, and Martin ended up tagging and scoring because the wind had taken Asamura. He couldn't get up and throw the base runner Martin out at the plate. Had to be one of the highlights of the season. Very heads-up play. Fastball was swung on and fouled away, and the count is now still 1-2 to Martin. Norimoto gets the sign from his catcher, Matsukawa. And now Martin asks for time. We're going to do this all over again. So Norimoto rocks into the motion. He kicks in and delivers. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Leonys Martin. We said it's 63 degrees at game time, but the wind is running at 11 miles an hour from the southeast. The flags might tell you it's running a little quicker, and there is a changeup swung on and missed. And Leonys Martin is retired for the second out of the inning, and that is going to bring up Shogo Nakamura. So Nakamura gets the start today. He is going to be turning 30 years old this season. Last year he batted .283 with 9 homers and 67 runs batted in, but whenever we had a chance to see him in the exhibition play, he really struggled to get going. So the captain of the Marines is looking to get off to a good start in the regular season, because it all begins right now. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. We got our St. Louis Cardinal fan in the house as well. Welcome. We got Big Ray. Sorry, guys, I'm just have some other notes here. Big Ray, of course, says he won't be able to stay for the whole thing. It's 3 a.m. on that coast, so hopefully we can have you stick around for a bit. Norimoto ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. This is a fastball swung on. It is lifted into shallow left field. Moving over underneath it is the left fielder Nishikawa. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to do it for the Marines in their half of the first inning. So there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're halfway through the first inning. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines nothing. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. Will be back in just a couple moments with the call at the bottom of the first inning. We're glad you could be here with us. Hold tight, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the order coming up for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles here in the bottom of the first inning. They're going to be facing the right-hander Ayuma Ishikawa. And so leading it off is the left fielder Haruki Nishikawa. He'll be followed by Tsuyoshi Yamazaki, the shortstop, and Hideto Asamura is batting third, playing second base tonight. And so Ishikawa, who is getting the start tonight. We got a chance to see him in his last preseason tune-up, and he was very effective, able to keep hitters off balance. And so Ishikawa, he's going to be 34 years old this year. He was 6-3 last season with a 3.38 ERA. He only pitched in 12 ball games. He had 2 complete games. He had 80 innings pitched, only 42 strikeouts, but very good control. He only walked 9 batters. So that is kind of his mantra. But he is able to mix in the occasional strikeout. So he works from the sort of pseudo stretch position, and the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Last year, when we saw the first game of the season, it was Ryosuke Tatsumi who was leading off for the Eagles, and he had hit a home run in the first at bat of the ball game for the Eagles. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. So there were some fireworks early. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, one of their mantra, one of their trademarks last year was they really had a left-handed loaded lineup. And of course, Nishikawa leads off from the left side, and there's a split finger pitch that misses down in the dirt. The count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we mentioned, it's 4 o'clock local time was the first pitch. It's 4:10 local time in Tohoku, and the players are kind of bundled up. Their crowd is bundled up as well in the stands, but it's a festive atmosphere. Of course, it's opening day, and here comes the 1-2 pitch. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Golden Eagles are a fairly deep ball club, and the expectation would be is that they're going to make it back into the playoffs again this year, and they have a veteran team at that. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to the right side of the infield. It's fielded by Nakamura. He flips it over to first, and that is going to retire Nishikawa on a ground out, 4-3 for out number 1. That is going to bring up the shortstop, Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. Yamazaki gets the start at shortstop, and as we mentioned, it is the fielder tonight is Hiroto Kobakata. Yamazaki last year is getting the opportunity to get the start here today. He also bats from the left side, and here comes the first pitch. It is a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So last year, Yamazaki had 194 plate appearances. He hit 256 with 4 homers and 24 RBIs. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So Big Ray asked the question, so they have famous people throughout the first pitch on opening day in the NPB. There's a fastball that's swung on. This ball is driven into deep left center field, but there's plenty of room out there for the center fielder Oka, who's going to make the grab. And that is going to retire Yamazaki for the second out of the inning. So to answer your question, Big Ray, yes, they do have people coming throughout the first pitch. I don't know who the fellow was today. It was a fellow. Sometimes the NPB, they have a lot of young ladies, whether it be television presenters or whether it be sports types that will come out and throw the first pitch out. And certainly, just as Topps used to do in North America, they will, BBM, Baseball Magazine, will put out some special cards for those who do throw out the first pitch. And it is Hideto Asamura who steps in and he takes a first pitch breaking ball outside. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Ishikawa ready to go back to work, and there's a fastball up in the zone, and the count is now 2-0. Asamura had what I would call an off season for him last year. Asamura had 18 homers and 67 RBIs, and he was coming off a year where he had driven in over 100 runs, and there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded back to the pitcher. Ishikawa fields it like a hot potato. He drops it to the ground, picks it back up. He throws to first, and Asamura is retired on a ground out. 1-3 for the third out of the inning, and that will do it for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles and their half of the first. So there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're through one complete. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines nothing, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back at the top of the second inning in just a couple moments. We're glad you could be here with us on a late night or an early morning in North America. Hang tight, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the bottom half of the first inning, and it is going to be the heart of the order coming up for the Chiba Lotte Marines. That means it's going to be Brandon Laird, Toshiya Sato, and Hiromi Oka to face the starter for the Golden Eagles, Takahiro Norimoto. And Norimoto has completed his warm-up tosses as the ball is making its way around the infield. He grabs the rosin bag, and we're ready to get this one back underway. And so it is a birthday. It's not a full house for this ball game. A little bit surprising, although it does look like it is a late arriving crowd as fans are still filtering into their seats. And so this brings up Brandon Laird to the plate. Laird hitting from the right side against Norimoto, and the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike at the knees, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and one strike. Laird getting the start as the designated hitter tonight. Here's the pitch. It is a split finger pitch that bounces up to the plate, and the count now goes to 1-1. Laird last season had 29 homers to go with 95 runs batted in. He batted .262, a veteran of the NPB. And here comes the pitch from Norimoto. It's a breaking ball swung on. This is lifted into left center field. Moving over to his right is the center fielder Kobakata, and he's going to make the catch, and that is going to retire Laird for the first out here in the top of the second inning. So one up and one away, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Toshiya Sato. Sato gets the nod today at first base. Last year, he appeared in 62 ball games. He had 132 at-bats. He had 27 hits with 6 homers and 18 RBIs, but he only hit .205. And the first pitch delivered to Sato is a breaking ball swung on, and it's going to reach the seats right behind home plate. And the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and one strike to Sato. Norimoto ready to go back to work. He rocks in the motion. He delivers a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Sato. Norimoto ready to go back to work. He rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Norimoto is very deliberate. He gets the ball and he's ready to go back to work. He's not one of the faster pitchers we've seen, but he does have nice tempo and pace. And here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's a split finger that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chiba is looking for a base runner, which would be the first for both of the teams. There's a fastball that misses on the inside corner, and the count now runs full to Sato. Neither of the teams today have had a runner on base. We're here in the top of the second inning with 1 away. Sato ready to go back to work, and there's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded to first. It's fielded neatly by Suzuki. He's going to take it himself, and that is going to retire Sato on a ground out to first for out number 2, and that's going to bring up the center fielder, Hiromi Oka. Oka getting the nod tonight in center field. He has had opportunity where he's played in the corner outfield, but he gets the start. He's going to be 30 years old this year. He was a 242 hitter with 6 homers and 18 RBIs last year. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. To tip your hat to Norimoto, he's really delivering a lot of strikes so far tonight. But that one is another breaking ball, but it misses off the outside corner. And the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Norimoto ready to go back to work. He rocks in the motion, and there is a fastball swung on, and it's tapped foul over by the third base dugout, and a really good play by the ball boy, ranging to his left to make the play, and it amused the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagle players as they give him a round of applause. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. Norimoto kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on, and it's fouled back behind home plate, and the count remains at 1-2. Should Oka find a way on base, it'll be Yudai Fujioka, who is waiting his turn on deck. Norimoto gets a new baseball. He's ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here comes the 2-2 pitch, and there's a split finger pitch. It's down. They appeal over to the first base umpire, but they say he didn't go. And that is going to make the count now 3-2 to Oka. So here comes the payoff pitch. Norimoto ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into shallow right field. Moving in on it is the right fielder, and that is Shimouchi tonight. He's going to make the grab, and that is going to do it. So for the Chiba Lotte Marines, in their half of the second inning, there were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're through 1.5 innings. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles nothing, the Chiba Lotte Marines nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the bottom of the second inning after this from our friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the bottom half of the second inning. I've got bottom half of the third on our scroll that's running by, and we'll make sure that gets changed. It's going to be the heart of the Tohoku batting order coming up to face Yuma Ishikawa. And that means it's going to be Hiroki Shimouchi, Agoro Moji, and Ren Wada to get things going here. So we're glad you could be here with us tonight. This is opening night in the NPB, and we are happy to bring you the play-by-play as we are. So Shimouchi is going to get things going. He had a fantastic playoff season last year. He had a pretty decent regular season. He had 21 homers, 96 RBIs, hit 257. Again, it's the string of left-handed hitters that are coming up in the Tohoku batting order. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses off the outside corner. And the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Shimouchi. Shimouchi digs in on the left side. He's got a balanced stance. He stands a little bit off the plate. And the pitch from Ishikawa is swung on. It's a ground ball, and it takes a wicked hop past the third baseman as Taiga Hirasawa got down to have to try to field the ball, and it just skipped up over his shoulder and it got by him. And that is going to be the first base runner of the ball game. We're going to see how they're going to score that. We're going to take a look on the replay and give you our opinion. And that ball looked like it was definitely a base hit. He was not able to do it. He had to get down to his backhand side onto the ground, and the ball took a little funny hop and got by him. And Shimauchi is aboard, but we will officially get that if it is a base hit from the official score for you. So Shimauchi is on first, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Igoro Moji. Moji is one of those players that certainly last year when we would call Tohoku games, he would absolutely go crazy, and he takes a first pitch for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Shimauchi last year appeared in 120 games. He had 14 homers and 53 RBIs. He hit .259, and I think we saw all 14 of those home runs whenever we called a Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagle game. He got off to a absolutely blistering start, and then he sort of petered off as the season went on. Moji, another left-handed hitter in the order, and there's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So Big Ray asked the question, how many games do they play in a regular NPB season? It's a great question. It's changed the last couple of years because of COVID. They haven't played. They've shortened up the season length a little bit. I believe it's 144 games or 143 games. That is the full season off the top of my head for you there, Big Ray. So hopefully that answers your question. I'll get you the exact number in just a moment, but I believe that's what you're looking at for a complete regular season. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike to Moji. That last pitch is in the dirt. And so here comes the 2-1. Shimauchi gets his lead at first, and Ishikawa fires over to first base, and diving back in time as the base runner, Shimauchi, keeping him honest. Shimauchi, as far as a base stealer is concerned, he had a couple of stolen bases last year. He's on the wrong side of 30, as they would say. He doesn't like to run so much. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Leadoff batter Shimauchi is on first. Moji is the batter. Ren Wada is waiting his turn on deck. He gets the opportunity tonight to be the designated hitter. So here's the 2-2. It's swung on. It's tapped over the head of the pitcher. It's fielded by the shortstop, Fujioka. He throws to first. It's the only play that he had. It's going to go down as a ground out, 6-3. Advancing to second is Shimauchi. So the ball that tapped over the head of the pitcher is able to execute and get the base runner over to second. Not the most conventional way, but does the job just the same, and that brings up the DH, Ren Wada. Wada last year only had 9 plate appearances. He was 2 for 8. He had no extra base hits, and he was only batted .250. But he gets the nod in the opening lineup tonight for the Tohoku. There's a breaking ball that misses on the inside corner, and the count goes to 1-0. Both of these pitchers, these starting pitchers, they throw strikes and they live around the zone. So 1 ball and no strikes to Wada. And here's the pitch from Ishikawa. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So to answer Big Ray's some of his questions, they play most of their games against one another. There is interleague play that will start in mid-May. There's a breaking ball that misses away, and the count is now 2-1. And they'll play an interleague schedule against the Central League teams. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Wada gets himself dug in. Ishikawa checks the runner at second. He goes back to work. And there's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded to Fujioka at short. He's ranging to his left. He fields. He fires to first, and that's going to retire Wada on a ground out, 6-3. But the base runner, Shimauchi, is going to advance to third with 2 away, and that's going to leave it all up to Daichi Suzuki. And we've got Scuba Shark in the house. He says he's from Malaysia. Welcome. We appreciate you stopping by to listen in. We always enjoy our international audience. We had a fellow last year who used to listen a lot from Vietnam. We have some expats that are in Japan that will sync up the game on their TV to listen to the English commentary. And we're glad you can do that if that's what you so desire. And here comes the first pitch to Suzuki, and it's a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1. So the runner at third is Shimauchi. There's 2 away here in the bottom of the second inning. The Rakuten Golden Eagles are looking to open up their account. The first run of the ball game. So here comes the pitch from the right-hander Ishikawa. It's a swung on. It's fastball swung on, grounded to second. Fielded neatly by Nakamura. He throws to first, and that is going to do it for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles in their half of the second inning. So for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, they had no runs. There was 1 hit. There were no errors. And there was 1 runner left aboard. We are through 2 complete innings. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines nothing, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment with the call at the top of the third inning. We're glad you could be here with us. Here are some of our Japanese Baseball Hall of Fame memories. Welcome back, everybody. We're cruising now to the top of the third inning. It is going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters coming to bat for the Chiba Lotte Marines. Means it's going to be the shortstop Yudai Fujioka, Ko Matsukawa, and Taiga Hirasawa coming to bat. So the first hit of the 2022 campaign belongs to Hiroki Shimauchi. This is the 150th year of baseball in Japan. And they are celebrating that on the NPB website, of course, letting everybody know that baseball has been played for now 150 years, so since 1872. We were looking at the exchange rates and the North American currencies to the Japanese yen. This has been the strongest we've seen in a while. So once we can open up and start making our way back, it's a good time to start buying your currency if you're in North America. So here we go. We're going to get things going. Here's Yudai Fujioka to lead it off. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on. It is lifted into shallow left field. Camping out underneath it is the left fielder, and that's Nishikawa. He's going to make the grab and put it away for out number 1. So 1 pitch and 1 away here in the third inning. That is going to bring up Ko Matsukawa. Matsukawa tonight is getting the start behind the plate for the Marines. Matsukawa getting that opportunity to play tonight. And here comes the first pitch from Norimoto. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Norimoto gets the ball and he's ready to go back to work quickly. There's a fastball that misses down and away. And the count is even now at 1 ball and 1 strike. As we said, it's a bit of a tough sun as it's a 4 o'clock start. The sun is going down. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded to second. It's fielded neatly by Hideto Asamura. He throws to Suzuki at first. And that is going to retire Matsukawa on a ground out, 4-3 for out number 2 here in the third inning. That is going to bring up the third baseman Taiga Hirasawa. Well, this game has got a very quick pace to it. We're here in the top of the third inning. We're not even barely 30 minutes into the game. And it has got a very, very quick and crisp feel to the ball game and to the start. It's a little bit cold outside, and so two are the bats so far. So Taiga Hirasawa steps to the plate, and the first pitch from Norimoto is a fastball taken on the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. And here we are, better back to work, and there's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into left field. Camping out underneath it is the left fielder Nishikawa. He's going to make the grab for out number 3, and that was a very, very quick inning. Only 6 pitches in that inning for Norimoto, and he retires the side 1-2-3. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're going to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines nothing, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the call of the bottom of the 3rd inning. We're glad you're here, and that includes our St. Louis Cardinals fan 1990, Big Ray, and like father, like son in the house. Thanks for being here with us, everybody. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the batting order coming up for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. That means it's going to be Yuma Yasuda, Hiroto Kobukata, and Haruki Nishikawa to get things going. The Golden Eagles got their only hit from Hiroki Shimauchi to lead off the 2nd inning. It's been pretty quiet on the base paths. It's not a full house today in Tohoku. The fans are festive. They're banging their sticks. And it is a beautiful afternoon for baseball. The forecast for the rest of the weekend is a little dicey. And we'll probably provide one of the games from the more than likely for Fukuoka tomorrow. And that is going to be at 10 o'clock Pacific time if you're in the United States and Canada, or 1 a.m. Eastern. And we'll do the same thing on Saturday all over again. We're going to try to get a chance to see all of the teams and before this season gets itself going. So we're ready to resume action as Ishikawa is ready to go back to work. He's working from that sort of pseudo stretch position. The first pitch is a fastball. It's swung on and tapped foul behind home plate. And the count now is quickly 0-1 to Yasuda. Both pitchers have been very economical. 24 pitches through the first 2 innings for Ishikawa. As we said, Ishikawa doesn't walk many. He walked only 9 batters last year in 80 innings of work. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is now 1-1. Yasuda gets the start behind the plate tonight for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. And here comes the pitch. It is a split finger pitch that is swung on and missed. And the count now is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. All the rest of the games will start at 6 o'clock local time, or some will be at 6:15 and some at 6:30. And there's a split finger pitch delivered to Yasuda. He swings and misses, and he is going to be retired for out number 1 here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up Hiroto Kobukata. So Kobukata has changed his glove. He's getting the nod in center field tonight as he got a chance to play last year. We saw him as the shortstop for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. He bats from the left side, and he takes a breaking ball upstairs for ball 1. So no balls and 1 strike. He hit .248 last year with 3 homers and 21 RBIs. He did sacrifice bunt a lot. He's not a big fella. There's a fastball that swung on. It's fouled away on the third base side, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So right-hander against the left-hander. Ishikawa ready to go back to work. He holds at the belt and goes into his motion and delivers, and there's a fastball that misses off the outside corner. And the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. I started to say the currency, the Japanese currency, the strengthening of the American and Canadian dollars. Once things start to open up, it might be a very attractive destination for people in North America to make their journey over to Japan. And there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count remains at 2-2. I'm not sure where the US dollar is at. I didn't check that today, but the Canadian dollar, it's almost up to 100 yen per every dollar. It's 97.5 yen per dollar. And there is a fastball swung on, and this is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats over on the third base side. And that is going to keep the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Our St. Louis Cardinal fan and Blue Jay fan says, bad news that Andrew Miller has retired. I think Andrew Miller is 16 seasons in the big leagues. He definitely had a very, very long career. And I guess, to be honest, I think probably when he was with the Cleveland Indians in that World Series run, there was a breaking ball delivered to Kobakata, and he fouls that one away on the third base side. And the count remains at 2-2. It was probably where his game started to fall off. I think they really kind of overused him down the stretch there. Obviously trying to beat the Cubs to win a World Series. They didn't quite get there, but Andrew Miller had a great career. Of course, he was drafted originally by the Detroit Tigers. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and Kobakata goes down on strikes for the second strikeout of the inning. And that's going to bring up the top of the order, Haruki Nishikawa. But Andrew Miller really had a fantastic career. It was Andrew Miller and Cameron Maben who were sent packing from the Tigers to the Miami Marlins for Dontrell Willis and, of course, Miguel Cabrera. So Miguel Cabrera came the other way. It ended up being a very good trade for the Detroit Tigers. So here we are back to the live action, and the first pitch is a fastball from Ishikawa delivered to Nishikawa, and it swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1. Nishikawa tonight is 0 for 1. He grounded out to second his first time up. Right-hander against the left-hander, and it's a breaking ball delivered, and that is fouled off over on the first base side. And the count is going to remain at no balls and 2 strikes. Nishikawa batting from the left side. As we mentioned, it's a lineup littered with left-handed hitters. And what we did notice last year is that even though when the opposition would bring in lefties, they would stay with their lefties with the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. They weren't so quick like you see in North America where they're looking for matchup changes. They would leave the guys in there to face them, and face them they did. And so there's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 1-2 to Nishikawa. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nishikawa gets himself dug in. He's got his hands up around shoulder height, and there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to Nakamura at second. He ranges to his left, fields it, throws to first, and Nishikawa is retired for the second time tonight on a ground out, 4-3. So for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles in their half of the third inning, there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are now through 3 complete innings. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines nothing, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes with the call of the top of the 4th inning. We're glad you guys could be here with us tonight. This game's moving along quick. We're already in the 4th, and it's 42 minutes in. Welcome back, everybody. It is a top of the order coming up for Chiba. That means it's going to be Akito Takabe, Leonis Martin, and Shogo Nakamura. They're going to be facing Takahiro Norimoto, who has retired all 9 batters he's faced so far in this one. He's got 1 strikeout to his name, and the rest of the outs have come 5 via fly balls and 3 via ground outs. So he is completing his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to resume action as they have a little bit of field maintenance as the grounds crew was out doing a little bit of work on the infield. And we saw that Big Ray steps in and says, what a great World Series that was. Final game into extra innings with the Cubs for the win. It was one of the more entertaining World Series in recent years. And of course, more pain for Cleveland not capturing a championship, but it did break the streak for the Cubs. So here we go back to the live action, and Norimoto ready to deliver to Takabe. And the first pitch is a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. And the count is quickly 0-1. 35 pitches through 3 innings for the right-hander Norimoto. Real efficient in this one so far. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on, and it is lined foul down the third base line, and the count now is 0-2. Neither one of these pitchers tonight are exactly blowing their opposition hitters away. But what they are doing is they're able to really hit their spots and have had great control. I've been able to work both sides of the plate, and there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-2 still. Takabe is 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to the first baseman, who flipped it to the pitcher covering his first time up. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. Norimoto shakes off his catcher a couple of times. He's ready to go back to work. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Norimoto nods in agreement with his catcher, ready to go back to work. And there is a split finger pitch down in the dirt. And the count now goes to 2-2. The Marines have 2 import players in their lineup, Leonis Martin and Brandon Laird. There's nobody in the Tohoku lineup tonight. It is a homegrown lineup or an all-Japanese lineup. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into shallow center field. Moving in out, it is Kobakata. He's got a lot of time and space. He makes the grab. And that is going to retire Takabe for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Leonis Martin. Martin tonight is 0 for 1. He struck out in his first at bat. He bats from the left side. He's got a little bit different look. He's got almost, they're like, not quite Oakley's, but they're almost like goggles, semi-goggles. Well, they are Oakley's. They almost look like goggles under this uniform and the hat he has. And so there's a fastball to Leonis Martin, swung on and fouled away over on the third base side of home plate. And the count is 0-1. Martin, of course, as we said, the players with major league experience in the lineup. Edney Hechavarria so far did not get the start. He's the other one. There's a fastball that is taken up in by Martin, and the count is 1-1. Of course, Leonis Martin spent parts of a number of seasons in the major leagues, 9 seasons to be exact. He had 2,532 at bats, and there's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-2. He had 58 career homers, but in his younger days, he could swipe some bases. He had 126 stolen bases in his big league career. This is his 4th season now in the NPB. He's going to be 34 years old this year. So Norimoto ready to go back to work, and there is a fastball swung on. This is lifted into left field. Moving over toward the foul line is the left fielder Nishikawa. He reaches up, he makes the catch, and that is going to retire Martin for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that is going to leave it all up to Shogo Nakamura. As we mentioned at the first at bat that Nakamura had, he really struggled in the preseason. And so now we've got John Emmanuel Ramos Henderson here. We appreciate you being here. Thanks for stopping in. And John has been here before. He says he's in the Philippines. We appreciate him. He's a longtime subscriber of the channel. There's a breaking ball to Nakamura, taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Norimoto goes back to work, and he delivers another breaking ball, but this time is down and away, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Norimoto ready to go to work. He rocks in the motion, and there is a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Nakamura. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. There's another breaking ball. So a steady diet of breaking balls to Nakamura, but that one down in the dirt again. It makes the count 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Norimoto ready to go back to work. There's a fastball, and that one is just up high. And that is going to be the first base runner of the game for the Chiba Lotte Marines as Nakamura draws a 2-out walk. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Brandon Laird. I'm not so sure about that last pitch. Maybe if Norimoto was more around the zone with his other pitches, he might have got that call. But that pitch was a little bit up in the zone and wasn't getting the love from the home plate umpire. And so Nakamura has got himself a free pass. So Laird steps up to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to center field his first time up. So Norimoto working from the stretch for the first time tonight. He delivers a fastball at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. John Emmanuel Ramos Henderson says the reason he got into the NPB was during the 2020 delay of the season. He was a Yomiuri Giants supporter, but last year he switched loyalties to the Yokohama Dana Bay Stars. So no balls and 1 strike. Norimoto fires over to first, and diving back in time is the base runner Nakamura. No tag required, just getting a little bit dirty over there. Tonight, the Marines are wearing the black tops with the pinstripes. They've got white pants with black piping down the side. Here comes the 0-1 to Laird. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-1. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles are wearing their traditional home white jerseys with the maroon trim. Norimoto has sleeves underneath, as do most of the players. It is a bit brisk. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Norimoto delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-2. Brandon Laird didn't seem to have the same agreement that the home plate umpire did. But upon further review, that was a great spot by Norimoto hitting the outside corner. So John Henderson says it was because the Olympic event's being held in Yokohama, home of the Bay Stars, and he got hooked on that team ever since. Can't wait for Bay Stars baseball. And there is a split finger pitch that's swung on. It's popped foul over on the first base side, and it's going to reach the seats just out of play. And Laird has second life. And also because Tyler Austin is a part of the Bay Star team. He won the silver medal as the DH of the Americans. Tyler Austin had some unfortunate times in the big leagues. Of course, he was originally started with the New York Yankees. And then Austin made his way, if I'm not mistaken, it was over to Minnesota next, and San Fran and Milwaukee before departing for overseas. There's a fastball that is delivered upstairs. They appeal down to first base, and the first base umpire said Laird didn't go, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. But Tyler Austin had a decent season. I believe 2017 would have been his season where he was fairly decent with the Yankees and also with the Twins. Norimoto fires over to first, and getting back in time is Nakamura. But if I'm not mistaken, it was a bench-clearing brawl with the Boston Red Sox where he got hurt. It was an ankle injury or a knee injury, and then he was really never quite the same after that. Never got himself back on track. But he did have a fine campaign with the Bay Stars last year, and there is a fastball that's fired over to first. Nakamura had to come back head first into the base, and they almost got him. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brandon Laird. So Norimoto ready to go back to work. He holds at the belt. He kicks and fires, and that is a fastball swung on straight back. Laird was right on the pitch, right on time. That's going to be 2-2. Big Ray says, I think Tyler Aston has a card in 2022 Topps. I don't think he does. You might be thinking of somebody else, but I know that Tyler Austin, he went over last year to the NPB. His rookie card would have been about 2017. There is a breaking ball, and off goes Nakamura. And for the young catcher, Yasuda, he can't hang on to the ball. As he caught the ball, on the exchange, he lost it. So that'll go down as a stolen base for Nakamura. So now they have a runner in scoring position. The count is now full to Laird. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Norimoto gets the sign from his young catcher, Yasuda. He holds at the belt. He kicks and he delivers. It's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. And Brandon Laird has gone down on strikes for out number 3 here in the top of the 4th inning. So for the Chiba Lotte Marines in their half of the 4th, there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're through 3.5. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles nothing, the Chiba Lotte Marines nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with a call of the bottom of the 4th inning in just a moment. We're glad you guys could stop in here tonight to pick this one up. Here's another Japanese Hall of Fame memory. Thanks again, everybody. Welcome back. And John Emmanuel Ramos Henderson is in the house tonight, and he says thanks for the English commentary. It's his first ever NPB opening day game, and he hopes to be ready for more games. Well, certainly last year we called the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles opening game last year, and the first pitch of the ball game that Ryosuke Tatsumi saw, he smacked a home run to get things going for the Golden Eagles. And so it is not started that way this year. We have a pitcher's duel as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's a rather entertaining stadium. I've only been to a couple of stadiums in the NPB, the Tokyo Dome, and also to the Jinju Stadium, the Tokyo Yakult Swallows. First time I went to the stadium, it was under renovation. The second time I got a chance to get by it and take a look around. Of course, it was the off season, so I didn't get a chance to see any action going on. So here we go. We've got the Eagles are sending the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to the plate. It is going to be Tsuyoshi Yamazaki, Hideto Asamura, and Hiroki Shimouchi. So 2, 3, and 4 coming to bat for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Yamazaki tonight is 0 for 1. He flew to center field his first time up. I'm really glad to be able to do this again this year. So here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball delivered, and that's going to miss upstairs. The count is 1-0. So last year we got into a bit of a challenge. For me, it becomes a challenge in the months of July and August to do consistently the games, but we should be able to these first 3 months to give us either live or even sometimes on delay. There is a fastball delivered, and it's taken for a called strike. Yamazaki squared the bunt, but he ended up pulling back, and it was still a strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Tomorrow, we're going to be on the air again. As we said, it's going to be 10 o'clock in North America time. That would be Pacific time on the west coast of the United States and Canada. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. The count now goes to 1-2 to Yamazaki. It'll be 1 a.m. Eastern time. But tomorrow, we'll be looking to do either the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks And the Hokkaido nippon-ham fighters, there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to short. Fujioka fields it. He fires to first, and that is going to retire Yamazaki on a ground out, 6-3 for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Fujioka, that is his 3rd assist tonight. He's a slick fielding shortstop. As we said, Edney Hechavarria is not getting the start tonight. He is with the Chiba Lotte Marines. We would maybe anticipate to see him a little later in the ball game. And that is going to bring up Asamura. Asamura is 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to the pitcher his first time up, and he swings a fastball and fouls that away on the first base side. The count is 0-1. Asamura, the big fella, batting from the right side. And here comes the pitch from Ishikawa. It is a breaking ball swung on. It's hit up the middle, right by the glove of the pitcher. Fielded by Nakamura. He throws to first. And Asamura is going to be tired. It's going to go down as a ground out, 4-3 for out number 2. And that is going to leave it up to the right fielder, Hiroki Shimouchi. John Emmanuel Ramos Henderson said it's going to be 1 p.m. Manila time. But this will be good for overseas fans looking for live baseball. Absolutely. And hopefully there'll be a few more people joining us as well. So here comes Ishikawa back to work. And the first pitch to Shimouchi is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Shimouchi has the only hit of the ball game between the two teams. He singled to lead off the second inning. He's 1 for 1 tonight. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses down. And the count now goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Shimouchi. He'll be followed by the third baseman, Igoro Moji, should he find a way on base. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that is taken for a called strike, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. John says only 7 so far. We need more people watching this for English commentary of NPB games. Absolutely. That'd be great to be able to have more people in the house. There's a fastball swung on, and this is fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. We're also streaming on Twitch. We've got a couple of people listening in on Twitch as well, so that joins to the cause. Sometimes I may answer some of their questions in the chat, and it may not show up in the YouTube chat. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Shimouchi. So hopefully we can broaden our audience there as well. And there is a fastball swung on. It's slowly grounded to second. Nakamura fields it over to first, and Shimouchi was retired on a ground out, 4-3 for out number 3. So for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles in their half of the 4th inning, there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are through 4 complete. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines, nothing. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call of the top of the 5th inning. Here's our friend Steve Rademacher. He is always entertaining. Be sure to check out his channel after the game. He's always good for a laugh or two. Here's Steve.
Domo arigato. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I'm new at this. Thank you for watching Last Raps Baseball. Tell all your friends and family to come check him out, ask some questions during the telecast, and give him a good sub and a thumbs up. And this is Steve coming back at you, and some new things on my channel. Star Wars figures that everybody likes. We have Mad magazines from the 1970s. We try to avoid the Noid. And for your pleasure, once in a while, we can open up Michael Jackson if you want, the cards. We have Elvis. We have Sadahar O. We love everything that is everything, so we even have the Beatles fighting with lightsabers. Look at that, John and George. Once in a while, we'll even have my brother take over my channel on a Tuesday. So once again, everybody tell your friends, come see Freddie at Last Raps Baseball. And right now, I'm going to kick it right back to you, Freddie.
Thanks again, Steve. That is Steve Rademacher, a friend of our channel. And here we go, ready to be back to the live action. We've got Toshiya Sato to lead things off. It'll be Hiromi Oka and Yudai Fujioka to follow. And the first pitch to Sato is a fastball that misses up and away. And the count is 1-0. Sato is 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to first his first time up, and he swings at a fastball and grounds that one foul just past the first base coach's box. And the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Sato, Oka, and Fujioka here in the top of the 5th inning to come to bat. And there's a fastball swung on it. Is popped up on the first base side. Moving over towards foul territory is Daichi Suzuki. But the wind is going to take it and blow it into the seats. And they have a souvenir. The count now is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sato. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Naramoto ready to go back to work. He rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It's the fastball that misses inside, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As we said, it's a beautiful evening for baseball, or late afternoon start. Just a little bit on the brisk side, and there's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner. And the count now runs to 3-2 on Sato. As we get the replay, we have to agree with the home plate umpire. That pitch was off the plate. So here's the payoff pitch. It's 3-2. It's a fastball swung on. This is lifted foul on the third base side. Moving over is Moji, and he's going to have room on the warning track by the dugout. And he's going to make the catch, and that is going to retire Sato for out number 1 here in the 5th inning. So 1 up and 1 away. And that is going to bring up the center fielder, Hiromi Oka. For Oka tonight, he is 0 for 1. He flew out to right field his first time up to end the 2nd inning. Right-hander Naramoto ready to go back to work. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. And the count is 0-1. John says first time here on Twitch. Yeah, that's great. Get the hours and hopefully a sub from you there as well, John. We appreciate you doing that. There's a fastball that is missed upstairs, but I have to admit, we don't put a lot of time into Twitch. Twitch is more along the sort of our extra feed. We're not going to put any extra effort into the Twitch feeds. There's a breaking ball that drops in at the knees for a called strike to Oka, and the count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. But of course, if you want to give us the sub on Twitch, we greatly appreciate it. There's a fastball that is taken just off the outside corner for a ball, and the count is now 2-2. I can understand why Naramoto is jumping up and down. That pitch had a lot of arm side run to it. It looked like it came back and caught the plate. And there's a fastball in pretty much the same location. And now that is 3 balls and 2 strikes. John says, a great pleasure that the NPB games are in English and aired there too. Yeah, if we can catch an extra person or two as the audience. There's a fastball swung on it. It's tapped slowly over to short. It's fielded by the shortstop Yamazaki. He fires to first. And that is going to retire Oka on a ground out, 6-3 for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to leave it all up to the shortstop, Yudai Fujioka. This game here is absolutely at an incredible pace. Hopefully it won't slow down. They are going to be playing extra innings this year in the NPB. There will not be any tie games unless, of course, it's after 12 innings. And so here we go back to the live action. Naramoto ready to go back to work. He rocks in the motion and delivers. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0 balls and 1 strike to Fujioka. Right-hander against the left-hander. Naramoto back to work, and there's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. John says, I hope more people can listen to your live commentary on Twitch. Yeah, possibly. As I said, we're not going to invest a whole lot of time into that. We've got to figure out our YouTube stuff first. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-2. Kind of the goal of the channel always has been, at least in the last couple of years, even though we've had the channel since 2010, we've only used it since February of 2020. And it's been a lot of fun for us to be able to do different things related to baseball. And there's a fastball swung on, and it is line foul down the third base side, and the count remains at 1-2. Obviously, the entertainment end of things for us is keeping audiences engaged in the sport of baseball. And here comes the 1-2 pitch again from Norimoto. He rocks in motion, he kicks and fires, and it is a split finger pitch that misses down. And the count now goes to 2-2 to Fujioka. That was the 75th pitch delivered by Norimoto. He's at 15 pitches per inning right now. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. And he delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to second. It's fielded by Asamura. He flips it over to first, and that is going to do it here in the top half of the fifth inning for the Chiba Lotte Marines. So they had no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're through 4.5 innings. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, nothing. The Chiba Lotte Marines, nothing. Stick around, everybody. Here comes another one of our Hall of Fame baseball memories from our time in Japan. Get a chance. If you're ever at the Tokyo Dome, check it out. It was worth the $6 US to get in. Here you go. Here's our Hall of Fame memory. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the fifth inning. It is going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters coming to bat for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. That means it's going to be Agoro Moji, Ren Wada, and Daichi Suzuki to get things going for the Golden Eagles. It has been a rather, what I would say, a well-pitched ball game. There hasn't been much action on the base paths. Each team has had one base runner. Shogo Nakamura drew a walk for the Chiba Lotte Marines in their half of the fourth inning. He was stranded at second base, and Hiroki Shimauchi had a single and ended up being stranded on third in the second for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, and we're all knotted up at zeros. So Goro Moji is going to get things going here in the first inning for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. As we said, all the other games are later starts. They are going to be at 6 o'clock local time, 6:15 or 6:30. At 6 o'clock at the Kisara Dome, the Occult Swallows are taking on the Hanshin Tigers. The Tokyo Dome, it is the Chinichi Dragons and the Amuri Giants. That game's going to be at 6:15 local time. At 6:30 local time, the Carp and the Yokohama Bay Stars go head-to-head. And then, of course, in the Pacific League, it is going to be at 6 o'clock, the Oryx Buffaloes and the Saitama Cebu Lions. 6:30 local time, Japanese time, it'll be at the PayPay Dome, the nippon-ham Fighters and Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. First pitch delivered to Moji is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. 50 pitches through 4 innings for the right-hander Ishikawa. He's been very effective tonight. And here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Moji. Moji grounded to short his first time up. He is 0 for 1. Ishikawa, as we mentioned, does not walk a lot of hitters, and this is holding true again tonight. There's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Moji batting from the left side. Right-hander against the left-hander, and Ishikawa delivers. It's a split-finger pitch down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ishikawa, as we said, works from a pseudo-stretch position with nobody on base. It's not quite what we would call a full stretch. He has a little bit of extra movement. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, and that is a split finger pitch swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Emoji, and that is going to be strikeout number 4 on the night for the right-hander. Check that, strikeout number 3 on the night. Yeah, Robert, welcome. It is nothing right across the bottom. We have got it updated going here. It is in the bottom of the 5th inning. There is one away. We thank you for checking in tonight. This game has been a wonderfully pitched game by both of the starters. So Red Wada steps to the plate. He's the designated hitter tonight. And the first pitch is a fastball that is tap foul over on the third base side. And the count is no balls and 1 strike. Wada is one of the only a couple of right-handed hitters in the batting order for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Of course, the other one is Hideto Asamura. This is a left-handed hitting loaded lineup. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Ishikawa. It's a breaking ball that misses off the outside corner. And the count is 1-1. So John says now 10. We need at least some more people on YouTube and Twitch channels. Well, here comes the 1-1 pitch. And that's a fastball that swung on and tap fouled. And the count is 1-2. Last year on some of the streams, we had as many as 23 or 4 people in at one time. It's always fun when you can get 20 to 25 people into a stream, especially those in the chat, and we can keep engaging with everybody while we're here. It makes our night a lot more fun too. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Wada. And here comes the pitch from Ishikawa. It's a fastball that misses off the outside corner. And the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Wada. Wada has just a slightly open stance on that right side. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's a split finger pitch swung on. It's tap foul over to the third base coach's box, and the third base coach for the Golden Eagles unable to make that play. So the count is 2-2. Robert says, going to need the Eagles to start scoring. We're going to need anybody to start scoring. The way this is going to go, it's going to be locked up at zeros all the way through the extra innings. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It's on the fists. It's grounded over to second. Nakamura ranges to his left to field it. He fires over to first. And that is going to retire Wada on a ground out, 4-3 for out number 2 here in the 5th inning. And that's going to leave it all up to the first baseman, Daichi Suzuki. John Emmanuel Ramos Henderson says the NPB broadcasts need to be promoted to international fans so that more can watch live. Depending upon where you're at located-wise, I know in the United States that it was DAZN last year would carry some of the games. You had that's the pay-per-view channel. And so here comes the first pitch to Suzuki. It's a fastball swung on. It's lifted to left field. Charging hard is the left fielder Takabe. He's going to make the catch on the run. A nice catch by Takabe. It was well struck by Suzuki. And he is going to be retired for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is going to be it. We'll hold that thought, and I'll tell you about DAZN when we come back in a couple minutes. We're going to take just a little bit of a break. There is going to be a timeout here, as they do after the 5th inning. They're coming out to clean the field. So through 5 innings complete, it is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, the Chiba Lotte Marine, 0-0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We're glad you're with us tonight on opening night in the NPB. Here is our friend, Matt Hollis. After the game, check out Matt's channel. He's a friend of ours, and we like to support him in kind.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play. But you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. We are going to be giving you the out of town scoreboard from Major League Baseball today. And March 24th, the exhibition games are well underway. And we'll give you the finals in the obviously, there's interleague play, there's American League and National League games. The Detroit Tigers knocked off the New York Yankees today 5-3 in 7 innings. Diaz picks up the win for the Tigers. Rodriguez takes the loss. The Minnesota Twins knocked off the Tampa Bay Rays 7-1. Ober gets the win. Rasmussen takes the loss for the Rays, the former Brewer. A 3-3 tie between the Phillies and the Pirates. That game ended in 5 innings. The Kansas City Royals knocked off the Cincinnati Reds 5-4. Snyder gets the win. Overton takes the lump in that one. The Seattle Mariners knocked off the Cleveland Guardians. It's going to be hard getting used to saying that this year. It was Misevich who got the win for the Mariners. Myers takes the loss. Murphy picked up the save. The Texas Rangers knocked off the Oakland Athletics 5-3. Howard got the win for the Rangers. Honeywell takes the loss for the Athletics. The former Tampa Bay Ray would come off some serious elbow issues, and then Workman got the save. So hopefully Brent Honeywell Jr. will be able to figure it out and have a decent year for Oakland. The Giants beat the White Sox 9-6. Bates got the win. Ruiz takes the loss. The Angels knocked off the Cubs 5-4. Angels behind. Daniel gets the win. Holder takes the loss, and Weiss picks up the save. The Colorado Rockies improved to 3-4 on the exhibition season. They tied the Dodgers, who are 1-3, 6-6 today. It was a 10-3 final. The D-backs beat the Brewers. Widener gets the win. Woodruff takes the loss. The Orioles knocked off the Red Sox 8-5. Tanner Scott got the win. Jake Diekman the loss. Diplin gets the save. The Houston Astros beat the Washington Nationals 10-8. It was Abreu getting the win. Doolittle the loss, and Olzak got the save. And the other game was the New York Mets knocked off the Miami Marlins 9-3. Reed Foley gets the win for the Mets. Stewart takes the loss for the Marlins. That is your Major League Baseball out-of-town scoreboard. All the other games in the NPB are later this evening, and we're glad you guys can come on by and check it out. Our friend Robert asked the question. He says, so you can't watch it in the USA. Actually, you can on DAZN, as we mentioned last year. Now, I don't know if they're picking up the feed this year. There was also NBC out of Hawaii. If you were in Honolulu, they were playing the games up till a couple of years ago. So you could have been able to watch some of the games in Honolulu, Hawaii on NBC. But the thing was, as we mentioned last year, I don't know if the games were being broadcast in English. I think it was just the Japanese feed. And you had to be able to listen to the Japanese, but there was no English commentary with the games. So hopefully we can provide you some of that stuff as well. So here we go, everybody. We're into the top of the 6th inning, and Norimoto is ready to go back to work. And the first pitch he delivers is a fastball to Ko Matsukawa, and it's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Matsukawa, Hirasawa, and Takabe to face Norimoto here in the 6th inning, and there's a fastball that misses for a ball, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Matsukawa digs himself in, and there's a fastball swung on, and this is fouled away over on the first base side of home plate. And the count is 1-2. The Chiba Lotte Marines are looking for their first knock of the night. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count is now 2-2. It was 76 pitches through 5 innings for Norimoto. He has not been as economical as his counterpart, but one would think that there's probably another 15 or 20 pitches left in him. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded slowly to second. Asamura has to come in to field it. He flips it to first, and that is going to retire Matsukawa. That goes as a ground out, 4-3 for out number 1 here in the 6th inning, and that's going to bring up the 9-hole hitter, Taiga Hirasawa. So Hirasawa steps to the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to left field his first time up. He's got a huge shin guard on his right leg, right-hander against the left-hander, and Hirasawa squares as if to bunt, but he pulls back and he takes a called strike. The count is 0-1. Question from Big Ray says, there's a fastball that misses upstairs and the count is 1-1. Big Ray says that would I put Klaas as a top 10 reliever in the big leagues? Well, I would say if he can come out and start doing what he did last year early on, then yeah, you'd have to consider that Emmanuel Klaas would be in that class of the top relievers. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 2-1 now to Hirasawa. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Norimoto ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that's taken for a called strike at the knees, and Hirasawa sure doesn't like it. He puts his hand on his hip, and he does a 180-degree turn at home plate. And I have to say, it was an excellent job of receiving by the young catcher Yasuda that made that pitch look like a strike. And there's a fastball that misses in, and that runs the count to 3-2. But I'll tell you, that last pitch there looked better than the one that was called a strike. And now the count is 3-2 to Hirasawa. So ready to go back to work. There's a fastball that misses in, and that is ball 4. That's going to be the second base runner allowed by Norimoto. And Norimoto turns his back and does a long walk back up the pitcher's mound before he comes back to take the ball from his young catcher. But that was a great pitch. It was well received. But Hirasawa has drawn himself a 1-out walk here in the 6th inning, and that's going to bring up the top of the order, Akito Takabe. And one would think that this is going to be a bunt, possibly a bunt situation here. I don't know if I would want to bunt in this spot, because if Takabe moves him over, I would probably look to put Martin on first and then maybe set up a chance for a fielder's choice. But here we go. He does bunt. He gets it down over on the third base side. It's fielded by Moji, but Moji can't hang on, and everybody is going to be safe. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. And so he couldn't field it. He dropped the ball, and now we got runners on first and second. I'm going to have to see how they're going to do that. Big Ray says he's got a pronunciation for me. It's Class A. And maybe you may be correct. I don't follow the Guardians enough. Well, Moji tried to barehand that ball, and he couldn't come up with it. And so that's going to put the runners on first and second. As I said, we're going to have to get you that scoring in just a minute to see how they ruled it. Is that going to be the first hit of the game, or is it going to be an E5? Because if it is, that will be the first hit. That's going to bring up Leonis Martin with 1 out. Martin tonight is 0 for 2. He struck out his first time up and flew to left in his last at bat. So he's got a runner in scoring position, and there is a first pitch breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So the Marines are looking for their first run of the ball game. They're looking to open the scoring here. This is arguably only the second time we've had a runner in scoring position. So here comes the 1-0 pitch to Martin. They deliver. It is a fastball swung on and missed. And the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike. Norimoto just has that little extra gear that he can dial up to, and he blew that pitch right by the big Cuban at the plate. I always remember the funny story when Martin was down in the Texas Ranger organization, and he had a fancy for one of the ladies in the stands, but he didn't realize that it was a friend to one of the reporters. And he tossed her the baseball in the stands, and it had his phone number on it, autographed the ball and had the phone number. So there's a fastball that misses up and in, and the count is 2-1. And of course, she decided to text the phone number, and he ended up texting her a picture back where he had no shirt on and had the bat, and he kind of said, hey, if you like what you see, let's try to meet up. But it ended up getting him some negative publicity down with the Rangers organization. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Leonis Martin. There's a fastball that is going to just clip Leonis Martin, and he's going to be hit by a pitch. Didn't get him by much. Martin turned inside. It must have just touched the jersey ever so slightly. That is going to load the bases, and they have a storm brewing here in the top of the 6th inning. And it did catch it just barely. So Martin is now going to be the runner at first. The runner at second is Takabe, and that means that Hirasawa goes all the way over to third. And now we have a little conference on the mound. A flock of eagles have converged at the pitcher's mound, and they're talking how they're going to handle this situation. So the bases are loaded, full of Marines. The defense has got the corners are even with the bag. The middle infielders are in double play depth. And this is bringing up Shogo Nakamura. Nakamura today is 0 for 1. He's walked and stolen a base. And here comes the pitch. It is a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. That's a pretty gutsy pitch there by Norimoto. First pitch, split finger. Robert says, how many outs are there? There is one away with the bases loaded right now. So no balls and 1 strike to Nakamura. Norimoto gets the sign from his catcher, Yasuda. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. One would have to think Nakamura is going to get a steady diet of slop coming up to the plate at this point. It's all going to be pitchers' pitches from pretty much here on out. So no balls and 2 strikes to Nakamura. That was the 94th pitch of the ball game by Norimoto. One would think he's starting to run out of steam a little bit here, but the Eagles do have a pretty good bullpen. So no balls and 2 strikes. Norimoto checks the runner at second. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is a pivotal point of the ball game here so far. Bases loaded, 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Norimoto comes set at the belt. Checks the runner at third and at second, and he delivers. There's a fastball. This is swung on. This is hit into the left field. It's down the line. That's going to get 1 run in. Rounding second and scoring is the base runner, Takabe, and into third base, sliding is Leonis Martin, and the Chiba Lotte Marines have taken a 2-0 lead over the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Nakamura picks himself up a couple of RBIs. Martin all the way around. Good piece of base running. As we said earlier, Leonis Martin really does some good things sometimes, and this would have been one of them. Be able to go from first to third. It's a single for Nakamura, and now they still have something going with only 1 out here in the 6th inning. And Norimoto, for the first time, has found himself into a little bit of trouble here. So runners on the corners, and that brings up Brandon Laird. Laird tonight is 0 for 2. Norimoto kicks and delivers. It's a fastball down in the dirt. Nice block by the young catcher Yasuda, who's making his NPB debut tonight. So 1 ball and no strikes. If there was a weak spot in the lineup last year for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, behind the plate would have been one of them. He was the 2nd pick in the 2021 draft. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-0 to Laird. He went to Suma Shofu High School, and then he went to Aichi University, did Yuma Yasuda. So he gets the nod in his NPB debut. He's only 22. Ball swung on, and it's grounded through the 6th hole into left field. Laird has got himself an RBI single. Nakamura is going to stop at second, and now the hits are starting to come as Chiba has now improved their lead to 3-0 here in the top of the 6th inning. And Brandon Laird is aboard with an RBI single. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Toshiya Sato. So Norimoto was pretty good tonight. Ishikawa was better. Norimoto is not as economical, and that looks like it is going to do it. We are going to have ourselves a pitching change. And so we're going to be at 99 pitches. Takahiro Norimoto is done for the night. So we'll be back in just a couple moments, everybody, with the change, and we'll get you that update in a second. We're glad you guys could be with us. It is 3-0 here in the top of the sixth for the Chiba Lotte Marines over the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is a left-hander coming into the ball game for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. That's going to be Hayato Yugi is coming into the game. Yugi is going to be in replacement of Norimoto, who had a pretty good start to this one. The wheels fell off the apple cart here in the sixth inning. So now they are turning to the bullpen to see what Yugi can do for them. Last year, Yugi appeared in 5 ball games. He had 13 2/3 innings pitched, 20 hits, 11 runs, all earned. He had an ERA of 7.24. The 27-year-old, or to be 28-year-old, who is going to be turning 28 on April 6th, takes over. He's been in the NPB for 3 seasons. And so he comes in a tough situation with runners on first and second and 2 away. So here we go, back to the live action. Left-hander against the left-hander. Yugi gets the sign from his catcher. He's ready to go to work. He checks the runner, Nakamura, at second. And he delivers. It's a fastball, and welcome to the ball game, as he has hit Sato on the first pitch he delivers. And Sato now is aboard as a hit batter, and that is going to load the bases once again. And that is going to bring up Hiromi Oka, the center fielder. So the first pitch he delivers, there's nothing worse that drives you crazy, is that you got a lefty that comes in. And so we have, and then Jirachi Productions, it was really unlucky for Norimoto. He only gave up the 1 hit and got tagged for 3 runs. I totally agree with you. It was definitely a challenge for him. And then Yugi drills the first batter he faces. So now we got the bases loaded, and Hiromi Oka stepping up to the plate. And here's the pitch from Yugi. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Ishikawa has been far more economical with his pitches tonight than his counterpart. Norimoto, even though he had pitched very well, he was starting to ratchet up his pitch count a little bit. The offense for the Marines were battling him. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and that's going to reach the seats over on the first base side. The count is now 0-2 to Oka. Yugi would like to put the fire out here. There is a crooked number on the board with 3 here on the top of the 6th. We thank everybody for stopping in to listen tonight. Hopefully you can join us again tomorrow. Opening night here in the NPB. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, and that's a fastball swung on. It's lined over to Asamura at second. He throws it over to the shortstop covering, and that is going to be a double play. Hiromi Oka hit the ball on the screws, but he's going to hit himself into a double play. That's going to be 4-6 And that is going to do it for the Marines. And that was the luck that Yugi needed to be able to retire the side here in the 6th inning. So for the Chiba Lotte Marines, in their half of the inning, they had 3 runs. There was 2 hits and possibly 3, because we have to check on that other one to see what the ruling is. There was no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We are now moving through to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines 3, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a moment. Here's our friend Matt once again. After the game, be sure to check out another Hollis build. He's a friend of our channels, and we like to support him as well.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. Just a scoring update in that last inning. It was awarded a hit on that bunt that was fielded by Igor Emoji. So it was 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. So here we are now in the bottom of the 6th inning. We're ready to get this one back underway. And the first pitch delivered to Yuma Yasuda is a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1. Yasuda doing the job behind the plate tonight for the Golden Eagles. As we mentioned, he's a rookie. He struck out his first time up. Comes the 0-1 pitch, and there is a split finger pitch that misses low, and the count is 1-1. Yasuda, the second pick by the Eagles in the 2021 entry draft, making his NPB debut tonight. He's a big fella batting from the left side. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and it is a fastball swung on and tap foul over on the first base side. And the count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yasuda wears a soccer-style shin guard on his right shin, not as big as some of the other players we've seen. Only comes up about halfway up his right leg. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. And that is a fastball swung on and missed. And he is retired for the second time tonight via the strikeout. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the center fielder, Hiroto Kobukata. Kobukata tonight is 0-for-1. He struck out his first time up. He's a bit of a pesky hitter. He had a 7-pitch at bat his first time up before being retired. He is one of those ones, he's got pretty good bat-to-ball skills. Not a lot of pop in the stick. And there's a fastball that backs him off the plate inside, and the count is 1-0. Kobukata getting the nod in center field tonight. As we mentioned, he played a lot of shortstop last year for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it's a fastball that's taken on the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Ishikawa ready to go back to work, and he delivers a breaking ball that misses down and in. The count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Kobukata. This game here has had an electric pace to it. We're almost through 6 complete innings in 1 hour and 40 minutes. And there's a fastball swung on, and this is driven foul. It's going to reach the seats on the third baseline. And the count now goes to 2-2. This is Kobukata's 3rd year in the NPB. As we said last year, he had an opportunity. He started quite a bit at shortstop early in the season. There's a fastball that misses just off the inside corner, and the count goes to 3-2. He appeared in 121 games last year. The year before, as a rookie, appeared in 112. His average fell off. He hit 40 points lower last year than he did the year before. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow center field. It's going to get down in front of the center fielder. Kobakata digging hard around first base, slams on the brakes. He's got to retreat back to the bag. Hiromi Oka did a nice job of getting over and even a better job of keeping the ball in front so it didn't skip by him. Kobakata is aboard with a single. And that is going to bring up the left fielder, Haruki Nishikawa. So with one away, Nishikawa steps up to the plate. He's batting in the leadoff spot tonight. He is 0 for 2, and both times he's grounded out to the second baseman, Nakamura. And before he gets set, he asks for time and steps out again and wants to get himself settled in. So Nishikawa stands in on the left side. Here's the first pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to right field, but plenty of room over there is the right fielder, Leonis Martin. He's moving toward the foul line and makes the catch. And on one pitch, Nishikawa is going to be retired on a fly ball to right field for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it up to the shortstop, Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. Yamazaki gets the start at shortstop tonight. We saw a little bit of him last year. He's a left-handed stick. He's in his fourth year in the NPB. Last year, he had 168 at-bats. He batted .256 with 4 homers and 24 RBIs. He's 0 for 2 tonight, and the first pitch to him is a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Our St. Louis Cardinal fan is back in the house. Welcome back, Ryan. Thank you for stopping in. So no balls and 1 strike. And Ishikawa ready to deliver. There's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count now goes to 1-1 to Yamazaki. Should Yamazaki find a way on base, it is Hideto Asamura waiting his turn on deck. The Golden Eagles looking to start to flap their wings here, looking to find somebody to get on board and on base, and there is a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Kawakata establishes lead over at first base. It's fun to watch the game at this ballpark. It's a grass infield. You've got the nice dirt all the way around. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Count now goes to 2-2. When you think of the stadiums around the NPB, a lot of dome stadiums relative to the amount of teams. There's only 12 teams in the NPB. You've got the Tokyo Dome, the PayPay Dome. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. And there is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. Camping out underneath it is the right fielder, Leonis Martin. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to do it for the Golden Eagles in their half of the 6th inning. So for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, they had no runs. There was 1 hit. There were no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 6 complete innings. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles trailing the Chiba Lotte Marines 3-0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We'll get you an update. It looks like we may have another pitching change on our hands here. We'll update you that when we come back. Here's another one of our Japanese Baseball Hall of Fame memories. Remember, if you get a chance to go to the Japanese Baseball Hall of Fame at the Tokyo Dome, do it. It's worth the $6 US or the $7.80 Canadian to get in to see it. Good stuff. Welcome back, everybody. We've got a pitching change. We'll get that for you in just a moment. It is 3-0 for the Chiba Lotte Marines over the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. We'll be back in just a moment as we move to the top of the 7th inning. Hold tight. Welcome back, everybody. There is a pitching change for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Number 49, Masaya Nishigaki, is coming into the game. He is taking over for Hayato Yuji, who got himself some defensive help after hitting the first batter that he faced in the last inning. It is a 3-0 ball game. The right-hander is completing his warm-up tosses. And so we are ready to get this one back underway. So Nishigaki is taking over here for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. And we'll get you that update as we have it for you in a moment. And we have, with Nishigaki on the hill, he was a 6th pick in the 2021 draft. He was from Waseda University. Hotoku Gakuen High School is where he went to high school. He is going to be 23 years old in June. He's 22 years old right now. And he is going to have to face the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the batting order for Chiba. So Yudai Fujioka, Ko Matsukawa, and Taiga Hirasawa. And the first pitch to has delivered it is a fastball that misses Umpinen, and the count is 1-0. So yet another player making his NPB debut. As we mentioned, the catcher for the Golden Eagles, Yuma Yasuda, is making his NPB debut tonight. So it is a rookie battery here. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and missed by Fujioka. And the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander Shigaki looks in and gets the sign from his catcher. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on, and it is driven foul down the third base line. It's going to reach the seats, and that's going to be 1 ball and 2 strikes to Fujioka. As we mentioned tonight, it is the only 2 import players currently in the ball game are Martin and Laird for the Chiba Lotte Marines. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles have no import players in their lineup. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and there is a split finger pitch that misses down and in, and the count is now 2-2. John Emmanuel Ramos says he's going to be leaving for Mass. Have a great stream and hope to be there for the every audio stream. Well, we look forward to having you back tomorrow night. We appreciate you being here, and hopefully you'll be back with us again tomorrow. Remember, it is going to be 10 a.m. on the west coast of Canada, the United States. It's going to be a 2 p.m. first pitch, and there is a fastball swung on. It is hit down the right field line. It's going to get down for a base hit. Fujioka is going to have to slam on the brakes. It's only going to be a single, as the right fielder Shimouchi was able to get over to cut it off. And Fujioka is aboard with a single. That is going to bring up the catcher Ko Matsukawa. But once again, John, we do appreciate you being here, and thanks for stopping in. So hopefully you have yourself a great day today and have a good Mass as well. So Matsukawa will be stepping up to the plate. He is 0 for 2 today. He is grounded both times to the second baseman. Curious to see how they play this one out. Are they going to play for the run? And as soon as he steps in the box, he is already squaring to bunt. So they're going to try to chip away here. Firing over to first base is the pitcher Ishigaki, and diving back in time is the base runner Fujioka. So again, Matsukawa squares to bunt. I want to try to keep that runner close at first. And here comes the pitch, and it is bunted. It's down. It's on the first base side. It's fielded by the first baseman, Suzuki. Throws it to the second baseman covering first. That's Asamura. And that is going to retire Matsukawa. That goes as a sacrifice, 3-4 for the first out of the inning, but it moves Yudai Fujioka over to second. That is going to scheduled to bring up the third baseman, Taiga Hirasawa. We're going to see if the Marines are going to make a change here. And not so. It is going to be Hirasawa to bat. Hirasawa tonight is 0 for 1. He scored the first run for the Marines after he walked and came around in that last inning, and he takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So Hirasawa 0 for 1 today with a walk and a run scored. Still lots of baseball left. Getting into the deep water. So here comes the 0-1 pitch, and there is a fastball swung on it. It is lifted into shallow center field. Backing up underneath it is the second baseman, Asamura. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to retire Hirasawa for the second out of the inning. And that is going to leave it up to the top of the order, which is Akito Takabe. Takabe tonight is 1 for 3. He singled and scored a run in the last inning in the sixth. He's flown out to center, and he grounded to first his first time up. Right-hander Ishikawa is up and throwing in front of the Chiba dugout. So here's the first pitch delivered. And that one's in the dirt, and the count is 1-0 to Takabe. It was the fastball of the split finger variety, and that ball bounced up. A nice block by the catcher. I have to say, I am impressed with the catcher Yasuda. At first look, I don't know if he's going to be able to swing the bat or hit. I guess that time is going to tell, and we're going to have to find that out eventually. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It's grounded to third. It's fielded by Moji across the diamond. And that is going to go down as a 5-3 putout. So for the Chiba Lotte Marines in their half of the seventh inning, there was no runs on one hit. There were no errors and one runner left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the seventh inning. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines 3, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call of the bottom of the seventh inning. Glad you could be here with us tonight. It's opening night in the NPB. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the seventh inning. It's going to be the 3, 4, 5 hitters in the Tohoku batting order to face the right-hander Ayuma Ishikawa. Ishikawa has been brilliant so far in his innings of work. He's only allowed 2 hits through the first 6 innings On 78 pitches, that is 13 pitches per inning. So it'll be Asamura, Shimouchi, and Moji to get things going for the Eagles, the Golden Eagles, in their half of the 7th inning. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly no balls and 1 strike. Asamura tonight is 0 for 2. He grounded back to the pitcher his first time up, and then he grounded out to the second baseman his second time up. So 0 for 2. So no balls and 1 strike to Asamura. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that is swung on and tapped foul over on the third base side, just past the third base coach's box, and the count is now quickly 0-2. That pitch was a split finger pitch that forgot to split. It hung up in the zone. But Asamura couldn't do anything with it. So here's the 0-2 pitch. There's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count is 1-2. Got to tip my hat. Ishikawa is, we saw him pitch in one of the exhibition games last week in his final tune-up, and he was very impressive, able to really work the corners. Great command and control of his pitches. And there's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away over on the first base side, and the count remains at 1-2. The lights have now taken full effect. The sun is not quite down, but it's gone down behind the stadium. It is now 6 o'clock local time, or Japan time. So here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes to 2-2. Remember, don't forget to join us again tomorrow at 2 o'clock Japanese time, or Japan time. It'll be 10 o'clock on the west coast of Canada and the United States. We're going to be on the air again, and there is a breaking ball swung on. This is popped up into shallow center field. Coming in on it is the center fielder, Oka. He's going to make the catch, and that's going to retire Asamura for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Hiroki Shimouchi. Shimouchi opened up the 2022 Japanese season. He got the first hit of the campaign back in the 2nd inning. It's been a pretty quiet night at the plate for the Eagles. They've only got 2 hits. The other belongs to Kobakata, who got 1 last inning. So here comes the pitch. It's a fastball. Take it for a called strike. And the count is 0-1 to Shimouchi. As we mentioned before, Shimouchi had an outstanding playoffs last year. He was very, very good for the Eagles. And there is a breaking ball that misses way upstairs, and the count is 1-1. Shimouchi was one of the more consistent hitters even during the regular season for the Golden Eagles. He drove in nearly 100 runs. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to third. It's bobbled by Hirasawa. He throws over to first. It's up and down goes Shimouchi as he stumbles over the base. But he is safe at first base. We're going to see how they scored. It's probably going to be an error on the third baseman. The question is it going to be 1 error or 2 errors? It'll be E5 more than likely. That ball was thrown up the first baseline. And Shimouchi looked like almost jammed his ankle running through the bag. He lunged for the base. That's always a dangerous situation. He actually got his toe on the front of the base, and then he ends up getting over top of the base, and down he goes. They always tell young base runners not to lunge for the base, and especially that's where you can do damage and pop a hamstring. But he is aboard. We'll get that official scoring for you in just a moment, but I'm going to go down as an E5. So there's the first pitch to Moji. It's a fastball swung on. It can be lifted into the seats down the left field line, and the count is 0-1. Moji tonight is 0 for 2. He's grounded to short and struck out his 2 times up. So Shimouchi is the runner at first with 1 away. The Eagles are looking to find a way to claw their way back into this one. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and there is a Fastball swung on. It is tap foul over on the first base side. It's fielded by Sato in foul territory, and that's going to make the count quickly 0-2 to Moji. Moji will be followed by the designated hitter, Ren Wada, who's waiting his turn on deck. So no balls and 2 strikes to Moji. Gets himself dug in, and Ishikawa is ready to go back to work. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded down the third base line past the diving third baseman. So it just gets past the glove of Hirasawa. And Moji, with 2 strikes, is aboard with a single. That's going to put runners on first and second. So this is starting to turn into an inning that Hirasawa might want to forget. I always say this is where the ball will find you. That will go as a base hit. Although I have to say, probably didn't play it particularly well. You always like to tell the third baseman that they want to dive on an angle, moving back away from the ball, whereas he went straight to the line, and that thing ate him up pretty quick. He takes a little bit different route to the ball. He maybe makes that play, or at least stops the ball. So the runner at second is Shimauchi. The runner at first is Moji. And Wada is coming to the plate. Wada is in his 4th season. Came over from the Yomiuri Giants. Again, his career with Yomiuri is in his 3rd season with Tohoku. Last year, he only had 16 at-bats. He had 2 hits. And here's the first pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left center field. And this ball is going to be caught by Oka as he is moving to his right. And Shimauchi is going to have to hold at the bag at second base. That ball was absolutely scorched by Wada. And a great running play by the center fielder Oka, ranging far to his right into the gap in left center field to be able to come up with that. If that ball gets down, it's more than likely 2 runs on the board. And Wada standing on second or maybe even third. But moving to his left, and then after he makes the catch, sliding, getting to his feet to fire it back in. That's going to go down as out number 2, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Daichi Suzuki. Suzuki tonight is 0 for 2. He's grounded to second and flown out to left. And the first pitch to Suzuki is taken for a called strike on the inside corner. And the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Suzuki. We appreciate DJ Drake being in the house and everybody who's listening tonight. Obviously, John Emmanuel Ramos Henderson. We've had the St. Louis Cardinals fan. We had Big Ray and others. If I've missed you, I apologize. There's a fastball that misses down and in. The count now goes to 1-1 to Suzuki. One would think Ishikawa wants to get out of this inning unscathed here with 2 away. And then they would probably look to maybe possibly turn it over to the bullpen. There's a fastball that's delivered, taken for a called strike. And the count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Suzuki. The catcher, Yasuda, waits his turn on deck should Suzuki find a way on here. So 1-2, Suzuki chokes up off the end of the bat. He's got that slightly open stance. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This is popped up into shallow left center field. Moving over underneath it is the left fielder. That's Takabe. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to do it for the Golden Eagles in their half of the 7th inning. So for Tohoku in their half of the inning, there was no runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error and 2 runners left aboard. We're now through 7 complete innings. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines 3, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call of the 8th inning. Hang tight, everybody. Put the coffee on. We'll be back for more in just a moment.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Appreciate you, Matt. After the game, be sure to check out Matt Hollis and Another Hollis Build. And he is a supporter of our channel. And in turn, we like to support Matt. Again, Matt Hollis and Another Hollis Build. We are moving to the top of the 8th inning. And looks like we have yet another pitching change for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. We'll get you that as it's available here to us. So we have another right-hander coming in. This is number 46. And this is going to be Shoma Fujihara. Or Fujihira, it looks like. So Fujihira is the new pitcher for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. He is the 4th pitcher tonight used by the Golden Eagles after it's been Norimoto, Yuji, Shigaki, and now Fujihara. So pitcher number 4 making his way into the fray. And we'll get you some specs on this young fella here in just a moment. So Fujihara is taking over. This is going to be his 5th season in the NPB. He only appeared in 1 game last year for the Golden Eagles. It's his 26th appearance of his career. He's got a 7-12 record. And last year, he only pitched in a couple innings and allowed 1 hit. So he is taking over here for the Golden Eagles in the 8th inning. And so it is going to be scheduled to be the 2, 3, 4 hitters coming to bat for the Chiba Lotte Marines. That means Leonis Martin, Shogo Nakamura, and Brandon Laird. The first pitch from Fujihara is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Martin tonight is 0 for 2, and he struck out and flew out to left, and then he was hit by a pitch and scored a run his last time up. So here comes the 1-0 to Leonis Martin, and there's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Hits have been at a premium in this ball game, as both teams have struggled to put the bat on the ball. Chiba has 3 runs, 4 hits, and an error. That was, of course, the last inning by the 3rd baseman. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 3-0 to Martin. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles have no runs, 3 hits, and no errors. But the Chiba Lotte Marines have made their hits count. They were able to string it together with a base on ball and a hit by pitch, and 3 hits in the 6th inning has done the damage. And there is a fastball down, and it is 4 straight balls to Leonis Martin, and he is aboard with a leadoff walk here in the 8th inning. That's going to bring up the 2nd baseman, Shogo Nakamura. For Nakamura tonight, he is officially 1 for 2. He singled and knocked a pair of runs in his last time up. He walked and stole a base in the 4th. We do have a pinch runner coming in for Leonis Martin. We'll get you that in a second. So there will be a defensive change to go with it. Entering into the fray is number 63. This is Kashiro Wada. So Kashiro Wada in to run for Leonis Martin. We'll see if he stays in as a defensive replacement. And the pitcher flips it over to first base, and diving back in time is the pinch hitter Wada. Wada establishes his lead at first base. I wouldn't think Nakamura is going to be squaring to bunt here, but you never know. And he is, and that ball pops out of the glove of the catcher. And now Yasuda wants ties. The second time tonight that Yasuda struggled to make the exchange. And as we said, every time he goes to make that turn, ball pops out of his glove. That's a stolen base now for the base runner, Wada. There was no throw, but we're going to give him the stolen base as the catcher couldn't make the transfer on the exchange. So here's the 1-0 pitch, and there's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. The count now goes even to Nakamura at 1-1. And our friend Big Ray says, just read the NPB comparable to our World Series is called Battle of the Beasts. That's pretty cool. I don't know if it's Battle of the Beasts. I'm sure wherever you saw that, you'll probably have some reference for it. Obviously, the Japan series, going into it, it's the Climax series. There's a fastball that is swung on a tap foul over on the third base side. Count goes to 1-2 to Nakamura. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Certainly last year, one of the strengths of the Golden Eagles was their bullpen. Of course, when they have the lead, Matsui and Sung are usually making their appearances in. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and there's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count now goes to 2-2. It was a good time early in the year to turn the ball over to some of the younger arms or some of the unknown, where they can start to build some confidence or some trust with the coaches and the managers. So here's the 2-2 pitch. And they kick and deliver. It's a fastball that is taken for a called third strike, and Nakamura knew it. He stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 1. That is going to bring up the designated hitter, Brandon Laird. Be curious to see if there are more defensive changes coming for the Marines. Obviously, Edney Hechavarria, the slick fielding shortstop. One might think he would enter into the fray. And they could always move Yudai Fujioka over to third. It really locks down the left side of the infield. So Brandon Laird steps in with 1 away and a runner on second. And the first pitch to Laird is a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. Laird will be followed by Toshiya Sato. Laird tonight is 1 for 3. He singled in the 6th and drove in a run. He struck out and flown out to center. So 1 for 3 for Laird. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's a fastball, and this gets away. Is going to advance Wada over to third base. So now he is at third with 1 out, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to Laird. I think if I'm the Eagles in this situation, I just hold up the 4 fingers and put Laird aboard. So that could set up a double play possibility. But I'm not the bench boss for the Golden Eagles, so we'll have to see what they're thinking here. And it doesn't look like that's what they're going to do. They're going to face Laird. So 2 balls and no strikes. Infield is in for the Golden Eagles, and here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses inside. The count now goes to 2-0. Just as a reminder, we are going to be back on the airwaves again tomorrow, so hopefully you can tune us in, whether you're listening on Twitch or on YouTube. We appreciate everybody being here. Here comes the 3-0 pitch to Brandon Laird. There's a fastball that is taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike to Laird. As we say, we appreciate those of you who are listening tonight. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into deep right center field. And this ball is going to drop. It's going to get in between the fielders. Laird is going to be digging for 2, and he's going to get in there with a double. And Wada is going to score. That ball there hung up for quite a while. But where they were playing him, Kobakata was playing into left center field. They were really playing him the pole. He had to go a long way. Shimouchi, the same thing. That ball ends up dropping in. And Laird gets himself another RBI tonight. Kobakata makes a good effort to try to get it. But he's unable to come up with it. So we are going to have a pinch runner for Brandon Laird. And the batter coming to bat right now is Toshiya Sato. So a 4-0 lead now for the Marines. And the first pitch is a fastball to Sato that misses off the plate. Count is 1-0. So it looks like it is Ryusi Ogawa in to run for Laird. So Laird is out of the game as the DH. So Ogawa is in. There's a fastball delivered to Sato, and that's taken for a called strike. And the count now goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Back to work. And the pitch delivered from Fujihira is a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Sato. Fujihira checks the runner Ogawa at second. He kicks and he delivers. There's a fastball misses outside, and the count goes to 3-1. That is 18 pitches, and it's not even to the 4th hitter yet that we've completed. So Sato stands in at 3-1, and he takes a fastball down, and that is going to be ball 4. It's the second walk of the inning from Fujihira. And that is going to bring the pitching coach out of the dugout. He is on a sprint out to the mound. And so runners are at first and second. We've got a break in the action right here while they discuss what is happening here. It's 19 pitches for the young right-hander. He's got to try to wiggle his way out of a jam here. He's going to bring up the center fielder, Hiromi Oka. Oka tonight is 0 for 3. He flew out to right field his first time up. He grounded to short, and he lined into a double play in the 6th inning. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles are starting to, the sand in their hourglass is starting to run out. We do have a runner over at first base for Sato. We'll get you that in just a second as Oka comes up. So the first pitch to Oka is a fastball swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1. So Ryo Miki is the pinch runner over at first base. So Miki is in for Sato. So here comes the 0-1 pitch to Oda. It's a fastball that misses up. They peel down to first base, and they say he didn't go, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Oka. This game through the first 5 innings was going at an electric pace. And then we hit that top of the 6th inning where the Chiba Lotte Marines scored 3 runs and everything came to a grinding halt. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball. Take it for a called strike. And Oka wasn't convinced that that was a strike. And after watching the replay, we're not convinced it was either. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Oka, but the umpire said it was, so it must have been so. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fujihira checks the runner at second. And he delivers. There is a fastball. Take it for a called third strike. I'm not sure what Oka was looking for. That pitch sawed the plate right in half. And he is retired for out number 2. And that's going to leave it up to the shortstop, Yudai Fujioka. Fujioka tonight is 1 for 3. He's flown out to left field. He's grounded to second, and he singled his last time up. He bats from the left side against the right-hander Fujihira. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Fujioka. Here's a fastball. It is swung on, and it is lifted foul on the third base side, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Fujioka. Fujihira kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. We haven't seen if the starter Ishikawa is up and throwing in front of the Chiba bullpen, or if he is going to be done for the night. Usually the starters will get up and start throwing. We haven't seen that yet. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is 2-2. One would have to think this may be the last hitter for the young right-hander either way. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fujioka gets the sign from his catcher. Yasuda, he delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul down the third base line. And the count is going to remain at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. The right-hander Fujihira gets the sign from his catcher. He's ready to go to work. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and lifted fouled into the seats just behind the third base dugout, and the count still remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Fujioka. So Fujihira is about to throw his 30th pitch of the inning. Talk about economical. This is definitely not an economical inning for him. He has had to work. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. He kicks and delivers. It is again a fastball swung on, and again it's fouled away into the seats just over on the third base side. And Fujioka is definitely making this young right-hander work. Good piece of hitting, though, to protect by Fujioka. He just lets his hands go. He's able to dig that one out of the dirt, foul that one off. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. And instead, they fire down to second base, and they try to get the runner at second. But getting back in time is the base runner Ogawa. It was a very dangerous play. He's having a hard enough time throwing strikes to home plate, let alone having to throw a strike to the shortstop covering at second. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It's fouled off behind home plate. And again, the count's going to remain at 2-2. This is about to be the 9th pitch of the at-bat to Fujioka. Other games around the league, they are starting to get underway. We'll give you some of those scores after this half inning, but there is scoring in Osaka. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses up and in, and that now runs the count to 3-2 to Fujioka. So Fujioka is going to have himself a 10-pitch at-bat. Whether he wins it or not, it's already a quality at-bat. Runners are going to be on the move as long as the right-hander delivers to the plate. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. There's 2 away here in the 8th. There go the runners, and there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to third. It's fielded by Moji over to first, and that is going to retire the side. But a battle by Fujioka ends in a ground out 5-3 for out number 3. So for the Chiba Lotte Marines, in their half of the 8th inning, they had 1 run. There was 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment. With the call at the bottom of the 8th inning, we're glad you could be here with us. Here's another Hall of Fame memory. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the 8th inning. It is a 4-0 scoreline for the Chiba Lotte Marines over the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. And it was a 3-run uprising in the 6th inning that put the Chiba Lotte Marines up ahead. They had 3 hits in the inning and accompanied by a couple of hit by pitches and a walk. And that is what has put them in the lead. We do have a pitching change, and it is going to be the big, and I mean big, right-handed pitcher coming into the ball game for the Marines. This is going to be Guerrero coming into the game. We saw him pitch in the exhibition season, and this guy here looked darn good. And so he is going to get the opportunity to come in and to pitch now. This is number 45, Tayron Guerrero. This is his NPB debut. Spent time at the major league level with the Marlins and the Padres. And he is going to face the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the order. This is Yuma Yasuda to get things going, and then it'll be Hiroto Kobukata. And then, of course, it'll be Haruki Nishikawa. So the first pitch delivered to Yasuda is a fastball down. The count is 1-0. We saw him pitch last week as well in relief, and he looked smooth. As we said, with the Padres and the Marlins organizations in the big leagues, there's a fastball that is swung on and missed. That came barreling in at 97 miles an hour. And the count is 1-1. He stands at a 203 centimeters tall. He's a big fella. He's about 6'8". There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to Nakamura at second. He fields it on one knee. He flyers over to first. And that is going to retire Yasuda on a ground out, 4-3 for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up Hiroto Kobukata. Kobukata today is 1 for 2. He struck out in the 3rd and singled for the second hit that the Golden Eagles had back in the 6th inning. So he's officially 1 for 2. It's kind of a interesting piece here, as Kobakata is not the biggest fella. So he looks like he's being towered over on the mound here. And there's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. There were some changes defensively for the Marines. We'll have to get that for you in just a moment. There's a fastball that misses down and into Kobakata, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Kobakata. Guerrero kicks and delivers. There's a fastball. This is swung on and fouled away over on the third base side. And the count is 1-2. So one of the changes, Taiga Hirasawa is out of the ball game, and in his spot in the batting order, it is Edney Hechavarria. Hechavarria has actually come in to play third base. Last year, we saw Hechavarria at shortstop, and they would move Fujioka over to third, but that's not the case this evening. Mickey is going to stay in the ball game at first base. There is a fastball swung on, and this is lifted foul over on the third base side. The count remains at 1-2 to Kobakata. So Ryo Mickey, who came in to pinch run for Toshiya Sato, he stays in the game. And then we have of course, Brandon Laird was pinch run for, so he is no longer in the game either. So those are your changes. As Ogawa is still in the game officially for Laird. There is a breaking ball that is taken for a called third strike. And Kobakata has gone down looking for the second out of the inning. A nice pitch by Guerrero. Able to drop that breaking ball in there. We watch that one again. Real tight spiral. Nice job by the catcher Matsukawa to be able to get underneath the ball. Good frame on the pitch. That is 2 away, and that's going to bring up the top of the order, Haruki Nishikawa. Nishikawa tonight is officially 0 for 3. He's grounded to second twice, and he's lined out to right field. Here's the pitch from Guerrero. It's a fastball taken upstairs for a ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Guerrero ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Guerrero is trying to close this game off here for the Marines, and they can pass it over to the closer. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. Of course, last year, the closer for the Chiba Lotte Marines was Naoya Masuda. And of course, Masuda struggled to really get the season going. But once he found his groove, he was pretty good. They had a opener last year in Fukuoka where they kind of blew some of the leads. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Nishikawa. Guerrero ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball, and that one misses down. And that is ball 4. There's nothing worse than a 2-out walk when you've got a 4-run lead late in the ball game, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. So Yamazaki strides to the plate. He is 0 for 3 tonight. He's flown out to center. He's flown out to right, and in between he grounded to short. So 0 for 3. He's got the body armor on the right elbow. He hits from the left side. So Guerrero checks the runner at first. He comes set at the chest, and he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball. Off goes the runner down to second. Here's the throw down, and it's not in time. Nishikawa is going to be credited with a stolen base. Really good job by the catcher, Matsukawa, to get rid of the ball. We're going to see if Chiba's going to have a look at this one. We're going to have a look at this one and see if it's worth it. It was a good jump by the base runner. And it looks like he got there in time, but did he come off of the bag? I think if Yudai Fujioka holds the tag on the base runner, he may have gotten an out there. but it's 0 balls and 1 strike to Yamazaki. They're not going to challenge. Now here we go back to the, and the count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Yamazaki will be followed by Asamura if he is able to get himself on. So Ishikawa with a stolen base. He is in scoring position. I would say a little bit of gutsy running, down by 4. There is a breaking ball waved at and missed, and Yamazaki has gone down on strikes for out number 3 here in the 8th. So for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles in their half of the 8th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're through 8 complete innings. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles trailing Chiba Lotte Marines 4-0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the 9th inning in just a moment, and there will be a pitching change for the everybody. Welcome back, everybody. There's a pitching change for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. We'll get you that in a moment. When we return, it is 4-0 for Chiba. We are moving to the top of the 9th inning. We're glad you can stop in with us tonight. Hank. Welcome back, everybody. It is the 5th pitcher of the ball game used by the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. And the right-hander is Shinri Komine. He is coming into the ball game. He was the second player taken or in the draft position in the 2019 training player draft. So he is making his NPB debut. This is the 3rd player for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles making his debut. He is going to be facing the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the Chiba batting order. Ko Matsukawa, Edney Hechevarria, and then the top of the order. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on. It's grounded softly to short. It's fielded by a charging Yamazaki. He fires to first. And that is going to retire Matsukawa. That goes as a ground out, 6-3 for out number 1. So 1 pitch and 1 away. Welcome to the NPB, Komine. So that is going to bring up, he came in as a defensive replacement last inning for Taiga Hirasawa. Hechevarria, of course, last year in the playoffs hit a clutch home run to basically knock out the Golden Eagles. So here's the first pitch to Hechevarria. It's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is 1-0. Hechevarria, of course, was a slick fielding infielder in the big leagues. He began his major league career with the Toronto Blue Jays organization, and there's a fastball that is off the glove of the catcher Yasuda and all the way to the backstop, and the count is now 2-0 to Hechevarria. Hechevarria batting from the right side. Waits on the pitch from the right-hander. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 3-0. So Komine is nowhere near here to the former big leaguer Hechavarria on 3 pitches. Here's the 3-0 pitch. And there is ball 4 delivered. And that's going to bring up the top of the order, Akito Katakabi. So the young right-hander in to get a little bit of experience here and maybe realized he's staring down the barrel of a gun by facing Hechavarria. I'm sure there's some nervousness here. So that brings up Akito Takabi. Takabi today has had 4 trips to the plate. He is 1 for 4 and scored a run back in the 6th inning, and he takes a first pitch fastball for a call to first. He's third his last time up. We're here on the top of the 9th inning. It's a 4-0 Chiba lead. Komine comes set at the belt. He's ready to go back to work. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Takabi. Sliding Yamazaki into left field. It'll be ruled a base hit single for Takabi. And so now the Marines have something brewing again here in the 9th inning. They got runners on first and second. That is going to bring up, apologies, Leonis Martin in the 8th inning. This will be his first plate appearance. He bats from the left side. So Komine checks the runner at second. He squares to bunt. The ball is down, but he did offer, and that count is going to put Wada in the hole at 0-1. Wada stole the base and later came around to score after he came in to run for Martin in the last inning. So no balls and 1 strike. Hechavarria establishes his lead at second. Komine checks the runner, and there is a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. That fastball was of the split finger variety, and it had a little bit of arm side movement to it and missed down. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. Komine checks the runner, and he delivers. It's a fastball down in the dirt, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Komine again ready to go back to work here. He gets the sign from his catcher, Yasuda. He comes set at the belt. Checks the runner, Hechavarria at second. And he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that runs off the outside corner, and the count now goes to 2-2. So Komine brings it up pretty good. That last pitch was at 150 kilometers an hour, and so that's between 93 and 94 miles an hour. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. Checks the runner, Hechavarria at second. He kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on and tap foul right at the feet of the catcher, Yasuda. We're going to do this 2-2 pitch all over again. As we said, it's a beautiful night for baseball in Tohoku, a little bit on the brisk side. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. And there is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 3-2 to Wada. So you can kind of see what the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles are doing. They were down here, and they've given some players some opportunity to come in and make their debuts. not just the NPB debuts, but also debuts for the Eagles themselves. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. Fastball, and that's for the bases. It's going to advance Takabi to second. It's going to move the Edney Hechevarria over to third. It's going to bring the catcher on the. So the bases are full of Marines with one away here in the ninth inning. That's going to bring up Shogo Nakamura. Marines are looking to blow this one apart. Nakamura tonight is officially 1 for 3, a walk, a stolen base, and a couple RBIs. And the first pitch is a fastball, swung on and missed. And the count is 0-1. Nakamura wears the C on the jersey, signifying that he is the captain of the Marines. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. It is popped up over on the right side of the infield. Moving over in foul territory and making the grab is Suzuki. And that is going to leave it all up to, well, it's technically going to leave it up to the DH, Ogawa. We're going to see if he's going to get himself an at-bat here. It's hitting in Brandon Laird's spot in the batting order. So we'll double check on that. It looks like it is going to be Ryusuke Ogawa. That's exactly who it is. So he stands in on the left side. And here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is lifted into shallow left field. Camping out underneath it is the left fielder, Nishikawa. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to do it here in the top of the ninth inning for the Marines. So for Chiba in their half of the ninth, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 3 left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the ninth inning, trailing the Chiba Lotte Marines 4-0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in Matt again.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life. And as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game, and if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the ninth inning, and it is going to be a pitching change for the Chiba Lotte Marines. They are bringing in their closer, Naoya Masuda. It is not a save situation, as it is a 4-run lead here in the ninth inning. And he is entrusted to face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagle batting order. It's going to be Hideo Asamura. It'll be Hiroki Shimauchi and Igoro Moji. 3, 4, and 5 to face Masuda. And this one is in the home stretch now. Asamura digs himself in, and he's ready to battle the righty Masuda. Last year, we mentioned that Masuda got off to a rocky start. Last year, he blew a save in Fukuoka, beginning of the year. But once he got himself sorted out, he was really, really tough the rest of the way. Some early season shenanigans for him. The first pitch is a breaking ball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Samura tonight is 0 for 3. There's only been 3 hits tonight for the Golden Eagles. There's a fastball that just misses down below the knees, and the count is now 2-0. Samura tonight has grounded to first, grounded to second, and flown out to center field. The crowd is still in good spirit. A lot of people wearing their masks in the stands. So 2 balls and no strikes to Asamura. Here comes the pitch. It's a fastball taken on the outside corner. And the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. This was not a full house tonight by any stretch of the imagination. A little sad on opening day that they can't get a full house in, but we can understand that the weather is a little bit on the brisk side. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. There's a fastball that is swung on and is lifted foul over on the first base side. Tonight's official attendance is 20,564. So 20,564 in attendance for tonight's action. So it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Asamura. Asamura gets himself dug in. Masuda ready to go back to work. He comes set at the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. And it's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to Nakamura at second. He flips it over to first, and that is going to retire Asamura on a ground out. 4-3 for the first out of the inning, so 1 up and 1 away. And that is going to bring up the right fielder, Hiroki Shimouchi. Shimouchi tonight is officially 1 for 3. He singled in the second inning. That was the first hit of the 2022 NPB season. He grounded out to second in the 4th, and then he reached on an error by the third baseman in the 7th inning. So Shimouchi is 1 for 3 tonight at the plate. So here comes the first pitch from Masuda. It's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded to second. Asamura fields it cleanly. He throws to first, and just like the first out number 2, that's going to leave it up to Igor Emoji. Moji, as he makes his way to the plate, he is 1 for 3. He does his, as he does every single time he comes to the plate. So Moji 1 for 3 tonight with 2 away. Masuda ready to go to work. He kicks and delivers. There is a fastball that misses down and in. And the game, we'll give you the rundown on our game here, and then we'll give you the out-of-town scoreboard. And then we will call it a night as well. But stick around before we leave. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And there is a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. Count is 1-1. I'm not sure I necessarily have the same feelings that the home plate umpire did, but they are at 2 out in the 9th inning, and they don't look like they have a chance of coming back. Great start by the starter Ishikawa tonight, who looks like he's in line for the win. So here comes the 1-1 pitch from Masuda. It's a fastball fastball that barrels up to the plate just a bit outside. The count is 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Clock on the west coast of Canada and the United States, 1 a.m. Eastern time. Japanese time, that is going to be at 2 o'clock or 1400 hours. Japan time goes to 2-2. Midday tomorrow, we will post which game that we're going to call. We may call the game from the Saitama Cebu Lions tomorrow night. We're not 100% sure yet. There's a fastball, and this is lifted into the seats over on the third base side. Count remains at 2-2. We're going to see who's got the nicest pitching matchup. And we'll give you all the action. We'll make that decision tomorrow. I haven't seen the latest starters announced for tomorrow night yet. Sometimes that does happen, but we haven't seen it yet. So here's the 2-2 pitch from Masuda. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded to second. A busy inning for Nakamura. He fields it. He flips it over to first. It's going to go down as a ground out 4-3, and that's how every out was recorded here in the bottom of the 9th inning. So for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, there was no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. Your final score is the Chiba Lotte Marines for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Nothing. Summary of the game. We do appreciate y'all being here with us. We got Robbie Gold in the house. Robbie says a little stock crowd noise would be a great touch to keep the audio. Well, we appreciate you stopping in, Robbie. Hopefully you can make it in tomorrow night. And we appreciate everybody in here for listening. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll tie this one up, and then we'll bring it back to you tomorrow night again. Hang tight, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. Just a couple of scores here before we'll wrap up our game, and then we'll give you the out-of-town scoreboard. It was the Chiba Lotte Marines with 4 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, no runs, 3 hits, and no errors. The win goes to Iyuma Ishikawa. He goes, obviously, to 1-0 on the season, and the loss is going to be tagged to Takahiro Norimoto. He goes to 0-1 on the season. The scoring in this ball game, while it was all one-sided, it was 4 runs by the Chiba Lotte Marines. 3 of them came in the 6th inning. Norimoto was really pitching well, and then started to lose it there in the 6th. He allowed a walk, a hit batter, and 3 hits, and then they had to come and get him. And so it was a walk to the third baseman, and the 9-hole hitter Hirasawa got it going. Takabe singled, and then Leonis Martin was hit by a pitch. And Shogo Nakamura delivered a 2-run single, and that was followed by a Brandon Laird single. And that knocked in 3 runs for the Marines. Marines ended up tacking on another run in the 8th inning on a leadoff walk to Leonis Martin. He was pinch run for by Kashiro Wada. Wada eventually came around to score on an RBI double by Brandon Laird. And that is your scoring in tonight's ball game. So your final score, 4-0 for the Chiba Lotte Marines over the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Other scores from around the Pacific League. In the 5th inning, it is the Saitama Cebu Lions and the Oryx Buffaloes all knotted up at zeros. At the PayPay Dome, it is in the bottom of the 1st inning. And it is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks and the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters knotted up at zeros. Over in the Central League, in the 3rd inning, it is a 1-1 ball game between the Yomiuri Giants and the Chinichi Dragons. That game is being played at the Tokyo Dome. The Yokohama Dana Bay Stars are trailing the Hiroshima Carp. It's in the second inning, 3-0. At the Kyocera Dome in Osaka, it is a 1-1 ball game between the Tokyo Yakult Swallows and the Hanshin Tigers. And of course, once again, the final score here tonight, the Chiba Lotte Marines knock off the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 4-0. Have a great day, everybody. I'm looking forward to coming back again tomorrow night. Remember, check our stream. We'll give you the matchups once we see who the starting pitchers are. We'll do this all over again. Appreciate your subscribership to our channel, and don't forget always to like the stream. It helps us out. We appreciate everybody for being here. Thanks again for listening and for watching again tonight. It's been another Last Wraps Baseball production. Have a great night, everybody.